Naples, Florida, it's practically like synonymous with luxury,
Yeah.
right? Sunshine, golf courses. I swear it feels like they have more millionaires per capita than anywhere else.
Right.
But you wanted to do a deep dive on it, and trust me, Naples has layers, like a frosted cake.
It's true. Yeah. There's, we're going to uncover a history here that's way more intricate and honestly, way more interesting than like any vacation brochure will tell you.
Okay, so let's rewind way back. Before the golf courses, before the mansions, even before those iconic canals, we're talking about the Calusa people.
Right.
They thrived here for centuries.
They did. That's right. They were masters of this environment. Expert fishermen, skilled navigators, and they left behind these incredible shell mounds. Some are even still standing.
Really?
As a testament to their ingenuity.
See, that's what I love about these deep dives. I always end up picturing things. Like, imagine these massive shell structures, just remnants of a whole civilization, you know, standing amidst modern-day Naples. It just hits different than reading it in a book.
Absolutely. And I think what's even more striking is how their story intersects with the very naming of Naples.
Okay, hit me with this marketing magic, because I know it comes from the Italian city, but what's the story there?
Okay, so picture this. It's 1886. And these two ambitious figures, a former Confederate general and a newspaper magnate, decide to develop this slice of Florida paradise.
Wow.
They envision a place that rivals the beauty and allure of Naples, Italy. And what better way to sell that dream than to borrow the name?
I mean, talk about a power move.
Yeah.
But it worked.
It did. Newspapers and magazines were already raving about the area's sunshine and fishing, drawing those comparisons to Italy. The name Naples was like the perfect finishing touch. It solidified its image as a luxury escape.
Okay, but here's where I'm already getting curious. This wasn't an instant success story, was it? We're talking about turning a remote part of Florida into a luxurious destination.
Yeah.
There had to be at least a couple bumps in the road, right? So we've gone from Calusa territory to this brand new city, carefully crafted with a very deliberate name, and it's all set to become like a little slice of paradise, you know? But something tells me it wasn't all sunshine and roses from day one.
Yeah, you're right on the money. Those early decades were a little bit of a roller coaster for Naples.
Really?
Remember, we're talking like pre-Tamiami Trail days. There was no easy way to even get there from the East Coast.
Oh, that's true.
Those early investors were really putting a lot of faith into this vision.
Wow. Yeah, talk about a leap of faith. Okay, so set the scene for me. Like, what were some of the biggest challenges those early developers faced?
Well, isolation was a major hurdle. Getting people to this, somewhat remote corner of Florida took some serious convincing.
Yeah.
Even with all that promise of sunshine and luxury. And then, just as things were starting to gain a little momentum, boom, 1929 stock market crash hits.
Oh, talk about bad timing. And the Great Depression couldn't have helped.
Definitely not. And if that wasn't enough, World War II kind of throws another wrench in the works.
Yeah.
Not exactly the ideal conditions for a luxury destination to thrive.
It's amazing that Naples survived all of that. So many other towns would have just folded.
Yeah. Resilience. Resilience seemed to be part of Naples' DNA.
And speaking of resilience, there's another chapter in this story that really shaped the city we know today.
Okay.
It involves those iconic canals.
I was literally just thinking about those.
Yeah.
They're such a defining feature of Naples. But you mentioned something in like the pre-show notes about them not being part of the original plan.
That's right. These picturesque waterways we think of when we think of Naples were actually born from a little bit of ingenuity and, I'll say, Mother Nature's intervention. It all started with a hurricane in 1945.
Okay, now I need all the details. A hurricane created the canals. How does that even happen?
So this hurricane caused some pretty significant erosion along the Naples coastline. So to repair the damage, they needed to dredge and fill certain areas,
A local company, Wyatt Brothers, they kind of saw an opportunity in all of this.
Okay.
They ended up creating this lake north of 16th Avenue, right between Gordon Drive and Gulf Shore Boulevard.
So they were literally reshaping the land. Did people see it as an opportunity right away, or were they hesitant to build so close to the water after a hurricane?
It's interesting. What started as a necessity, like a way to repair the coastline, very quickly transformed into a really desirable feature. People saw those waterfront properties, and suddenly canals were all the rage.
Talk about a silver lining. So from that single lake, the canal system just, exploded.
Precisely. More channels were dug, more canals were added, and, before you know it, Naples had this very distinctive waterfront landscape that we see today. It completely changed the city's aesthetic and, of course, its real estate market.
It makes you wonder, Without that hurricane, would Naples have become the Venice of America that it's often called today?
Right.
Fascinating stuff. But I'm also curious about the other side of the coin here, you know. We've talked a lot about the glitz and the glam, but I have a feeling there's more to Naples than just millionaires and mansions. So we've journeyed through time here, uncovering the story of Naples from its indigenous roots to this carefully crafted luxury destination
Yeah.
with, a little hurricane-induced makeover along the way.
Right.
But I'm really feeling that idea that you brought up earlier about the layers of Naples,
Yeah.
Because it's easy to see the mansions and the yachts and think, okay, that's the whole picture. But I have a feeling there's more to it, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Naples is full of these intriguing contrasts. Yes, it has this high concentration of wealth, but the social fabric is actually more diverse than I think a lot of people realize.
Okay, spill the tea. When we look beyond those headlines about $1 million condos, what's the reality of the people who call Naples home?
So, while a significant portion of the population identifies as white, there are also sizable Hispanic and Latino communities, along with a growing presence of other ethnic groups. And I think this speaks to something really important about Naples. It's not just this static snapshot of wealth. It's a place that's been shaped by migration, cultural exchange, and frankly, the realities of a service-based economy.
You've hit on something I was curious about.
Yeah.
Because even though tourism and real estate are huge here, there's going to be a whole workforce behind the scenes, right?
Totally.
The people who keep the restaurants running, the hotels staffed, the golf courses perfectly manicured.
Exactly. And that's where we see some of those intriguing contrasts kind of playing out. Because while the median income in Naples might be high, there's also a notable percentage of the population that's living below the poverty line.
Ah.
It paints a picture of, two different realities kind of coexisting in the same city.
That's fascinating. This hidden complexity, right? You have this image of luxury and then this other reality existing alongside it.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the bigger picture, the human stories behind those statistics.
I couldn't agree more. And that's something we always want to keep in mind, right? Looking beyond the surface, understanding those nuances. And speaking of nuances, Naples isn't just reliant on tourism.
Right.
Even though it's a major economic driver.
Right. What else keeps the wheels turning in Naples?
Well, we can't forget about agriculture.
Oh, that's true.
Citrus fruits, in particular, have a long history there.
Okay.
And of course, real estate is a huge part of the economy,
Oh.
with those beachfront properties being particularly sought after.
As they should be. Those sunsets over the Gulf are legendary.
Speaking of which, I cannot let you go without talking about those beaches a little bit more. What makes them so special?
I mean, imagine miles of pristine, sugar-white sand, the kind that feels like powdered sugar between your toes.
Oh, stop. The Gulf waters are this incredible shade of turquoise. They're almost unreal. You've got that bustling energy of Naples Pier, perfect for people watching. Or you can escape to the tranquility of a state park like Delnor Wiggins Pass.
See, this is why I love a good deep dive.
Yeah.
It's not just about the facts, it's about painting a picture.
Right.
I remember reading that the Travel Channel once named Naples Beach the best in America.
Wow.
So I know I need to experience this firsthand.
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
And while the beaches are definitely a major draw, Naples has this surprisingly vibrant cultural scene as well.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
I'm all about those unexpected cultural gems. What kind of surprises does Naples have up its sleeve?
Well, for starters, it's a haven for art lovers. You've got the Baker Museum, known for its impressive collection, the Naples Philharmonic, highly regarded, and then, of course, there are art galleries showcasing everything from contemporary works to local crafts, and if you're looking for something completely different,
Let me with it.
swamp buggy races.
Wait a minute. For real, swamp buggy races. That's amazing. I had this picture of Naples being all about golf carts and garden parties, but this is incredible.
It's true. 3 times a year, Naples lets its hair down with these, crazy races.
Yeah.
Picture custom-built vehicles, huge tires, splashing through mud pits.
Oh my God.
It's a sight to behold.
That is going on my list. It just goes to show you Naples is full of surprises no matter how much you think you know.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it all, isn't it? Naples is more than just a pretty beach or a high per capita income. It's a place with hidden depths, a tapestry woven from history, ambition, natural beauty, and, Even a little bit of mud-splattered fun.
When you lay it out like that, it makes you realize that every place has these hidden layers. And the more we dig, the more we uncover those fascinating stories, those little details that make a place truly come alive. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Naples, Florida, what's the biggest takeaway for our listener? What should they carry with them from this conversation?
I think the biggest lesson here is to never underestimate the power of looking beyond the surface. Naples is a perfect example. A city that kind of defies easy categorization. It's a place where the echoes of the Calusa people mingle with the dreams of ambitious developers and the unexpected consequences of natural forces.
It's a reminder that even in a place that seems to have it all figured out, the perfect beaches, the luxurious lifestyle, there's always more to discover, more to learn, more to appreciate. And sometimes the most surprising discoveries are the ones that challenge our assumptions and make us see the world, with fresh eyes.